Okay, let's just dive right in. I want you to imagine a cable company, the one you get your USB cords from.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine they just walk into a high-end sports car rally and they win. That is basically what UGREEN just did to the two-bay NAS market.
It's a complete disruption, yeah, with their NASync DXP2800 model. I
Right.
mean, UGreen is offering hardware specs in that $279 to $349 range that we're used to seeing for, what, double the price?
Easily double. And it just raises this one huge question. Why is a cable company suddenly so good at engineering complex data storage?
And that's really what we need to unpack, how they're positioning themselves and forcing these legacy brands like Synology to rethink everything.
It all seems to start with the hardware, just the sheer value they've packed into this thing.
Oh, absolutely. The component list is just, it's
Yeah.
unheard of at this price. You're getting a modern Intel N100 processor,
And DDR5 RAM?
DDR5, dual M.2 slots for caching, and 2.5 gig networking right out of the box.
The N100 processor is the real headline, isn't it? I mean, that chip absolutely crushes the decade-old Celeron chips that some competitors...
Just shipping them?
Oh, look at it, Synology, are still putting in their devices. This is just a small step up. UGREEN is basically future-proofing your home server.
And the physical build is just as impressive. Reviewers have called it the best two-bay hardware tested. It's aluminum, completely toolless install, magnetic dust filter.
So they clearly went all in on hardware where others have been, let's be honest, coasting on their software reputation.
They have.
Okay, so that powerful hardware is compelling. But let's pivot to where they had to cut corners, the operating system. If the hardware is a Ferrari, is the software a flat tire?
It was definitely undercooked at launch. They put all their eggs in the hardware basket, which means software maturity was the weak spot.
How weak are we talking?
Their OS, UGOS Pro, it launched without critical essentials. I mean, no ransomware protection, no two-factor authentication, not even encrypted volumes.
Wait. No encrypted volumes? Isn't that a massive security failure? Why would you risk your data just for a faster processor?
Well, that's the thing. Some reviewers actually said they switched back to their older, slower Synology boxes for exactly that reason. Key features were just missing.
Wow.
It was like buying that Ferrari you mentioned, but with really, really bad brakes. And the app library was tiny, like maybe 20 apps total.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, because UGREEN seems to be making a much bigger strategic bet.
Mm-hmm.
They're betting that an open architecture is going to win against Synology's sort of walled garden strategy.
Especially after Synology started requiring their own branded drives in some models, that whole vendor lock-in thing.
Exactly. So UGREEN is doing the complete opposite.
The complete opposite. They support pretty much any third-party drive, but more importantly, they let you install your own operating system.
So you can just ditch their UGOS Pro OS?
You can ditch it entirely. You can load up something open source that you already trust, like True NAS or Open Media Vault.
Okay, that changes everything. So if their software has growing pains, you just bypass it. You install something mature yourself, or use Docker containers, which I hear they now support.
Right. The software gap is closing way faster than anyone predicted. And this all forces a really important question for you, the listener. What do you actually need versus what has marketing convinced you that you need?
So let's break that down.
If you're someone who values hardware, who is comfortable with a little DIY or installing an alternative OS, then the DXP2800 gives you incredible value for your money. You just have to forgive those initial software problems.
But if you need that bulletproof set-it-and-forget-it experience with mature software and actual customer support, you probably stick with Synology, right?
Yeah, that stability still comes at a premium. UGREEN didn't reinvent the NAS, they just engineered common sense back into the pricing.
And that's forced a huge market correction.
Yeah.
So here's the final thought for you to take away. This whole situation forces you to step back and ask yourself, what features, what security, and what level of vendor lock-in do you actually need to reach your goals? Versus, what if some very powerful marketing campaigns just convinced you is essential?